Hello, Brigadiers and Brigadettes, and hockey fans alike. This is your captain speaking. Welcome to my channel. Now let's jump into some hockey content. Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday. I hope you had a great Christmas Eve and a great Christmas. I hope that you were able to get all the presents you wanted and you were able to relax, eat some good food, not really have to worry about anything. Obviously, we took a few day break, and obviously a day break for Christmas. But anyway, just wanted to say that we're going to be talking about the Nashville Predators today in our season previews. So with that being said, let's just jump right on in and talk about the Nashville Predators. The first question is a big trade coming? David Poile is not afraid to make big moves, and in a year where teams are stuck in a bad cap spot because of COVID, he may be able to take a big acquisition and be able to make that because teams are pressed up against the cap. There are two things that come to mind when I think of this, and get ready because both are big. One's a little bit bigger than the other, but it would be interesting. The first is that the Predators put out an offer sheet for Anthony Cirelli, and obviously offer sheets aren't common, and teams don't usually like doing them, but the time is perfect for Nashville to make this move. I know that obviously Nikita Kucherov is going to be out for the year, so they're a little bit more flexible with the cap, but, with things the way they are, they're still going to have issues with the cap, and it'll be hard to sign Cirelli. And even if they do get this cap moved, which they will with Kucherov pushed off to next year because of LTIR, they are still going to have that issue for the next year. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. But obviously they're still going to have to find a way to sign Cirelli. And if not, Nashville would be able to come in and make this offer sheet. And at the very least, if Nashville comes in and makes this offer sheet, they're able to force Tampa's hand and force them into a bad cap spot. Or they're able to get Cirelli. Either way, it's a win-win. Assuming he would go to Nashville, Cirelli would instantly become their best center, and it would be game-changing for the Predators, as they would get a player that will likely score 50 to 60 points in a season, maybe more in his prime, and is a Selke candidate for, the rest of his prime guaranteed. He's a very good defensive player, we all know that. Now, option number 2, not as sexy, but that's alright. Good moves are good moves, would be the Predators take advantage. David Poile takes advantage of the cap-strapped Golden Knights, who are looking at moving a player on their roster due to being over the cap. Now, obviously, there's been a few players that they want to move and get over the cap. We've talked about this for a while now. Vegas is in a very tight spot because of their cap. They got Pietrangelo, they re-signed Leonard. They've got some pieces that cost a lot of money, and because of COVID, they're really stuck up against the corner. They traded Nate Schmidt to Vancouver because of this cap issue. Now, the player that I'd like to see them trade for would be Jonathan Marchessault. He has 4 years and $20 million left on his deal, and really, at the end of the day, he'll probably give you 25 to 60 points a season. It's not as exciting as Cirelli, but they do have the cap space to do it, and Poile wouldn't be desperate, or couldn't be getting desperate, so who knows. Obviously, he has some cap space. I think that he'd be able to make some moves and make this happen, and really, they do have the cap space to do it, like I said. Who knows, the team could stand pat, but I think that would be some interesting moves they could make to get better. And now the second question is, will the goalie situation get cleared up? Pekka Rinne is 38 years old, and he's not getting it done anymore. That's not bias, that's just facts, as last year was his worst year of his career. 18-14-4 record, 3.17 goals against average, .895 save percentage with 3 shutouts. It was a down year for Pekka, absolutely. It's crazy that 2 years ago, before last season, he won a Vezina, but his time is probably running down, and time's a cruel thing, and it isn't sparing Pekka at all. Now you have Juuse Saros, and he's been the backup for the majority of his career in Nashville until last year, where he got a few more starts than Rinne. But Saros ended up being able to, I think, eke out 2 more starts. I think it was 2 exactly. While he performed much better than Rinne during the regular season, his play took a bit of a dive in the qualifying round against Arizona, which was concerning because Arizona is not a great offensive team. He had a 1-3 record with 3.22 goals against average, .895 save percentage, and no shutouts. With Rinne being a UFA at the end of the season and Saros being a RFA, restricted free agent, at the end of this season, it makes you wonder what the future of the Predators' goaltending situation looks like. I think Rinne will likely retire at the end of this year. He'll be 39. Maybe he wants to do a 1-year extension with the Predators or another team so he can play till he's 40. And I do think that Saros will be the starter next season as long as he performs well. but I'm not sold on him being the franchise goalie at all. I just don't know if I see it. We'll see how it keeps going, but they've got a good team, and I'm worried that maybe he's going to be sheltered because of, obviously they have a good defensive group in Nashville. Unfortunately for Nashville, Yaroslav Askarov, the 11th pick of this year's draft, yes, they drafted a goalie in the first round. Crazy stuff. Will likely be a few years away from joining the NHL, and there's no guarantee that he pans out and is the next franchise goalie for the Predators. I think this year is going to be a huge, huge year to see what the goalie situation looks like in Smashville. And all I can say is Predators fans, buckle up, because this could get ugly. This could be unexpectedly bad. Now, the third and final question is, will David Poile survive the season? David Poile has been the sole GM of the Nashville Predators since their inception and has done a wonderful job keeping this team gritty and competitive since he's been the GM in Nashville. But the demons are at the door, and this season could be Poile's last before Nashville decides it's time to move on from the man that has literally molded the franchise. They've never really been a bottom feeder besides the first few years of their inception, kind of like a Minnesota, except they've got better results. And they've made it to the playoffs 12 times, the second round 5 times, won the division title twice. They've won a President's Trophy once, and they made it to the Stanley Cup Finals once. This team couldn't have happened without Poile's decision-making, but things change quickly, and with results coming with expectations, where you get these results, people start to expect that to be the norm. And the Predators from the 2015 to 2017-18 teams, they made it to the second round 3 times. All in those years they made it, and they at least won a round every year in those 3 years. And they won 2 division titles, a President's Trophy, a conference title, and obviously, like I said earlier, they made it to the Stanley Cup Finals because of that. Then the past 2 years happened, and the Predators haven't been able to replicate that success as they've lost in the first round and the qualifying round the past 2 seasons. And I really do think that the seat could be warming underneath Poile, which really hasn't been the case before. Unfortunately for Poile, I don't think this season is going to do him any favors with the way that Nashville got put in that division with Columbus, Carolina, Dallas, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is, I'm probably going to say, guaranteed to win that division. Those other teams are really going to be in the mix, and I just don't think they were done a lot of favors this year. I think that if they miss the playoffs, that Poile could get the boot. I realize that the Predators obviously have a situation because they've started to build up these expectations of being a winning team, a winning culture, but Poile is the guy that's led them there. I know that he's made some moves that have been questionable and haven't panned out recently, but at the end of the day, what are you going to do? You're going to hire a GM that has less experience, that, is going to do whatever they feel like they need to do with this team. It could be a few years rebuild, we don't know. I think they should wait, maybe not and fire him this year, but maybe the year after, let, the team get a little bit of something going. I don't know what, but give him a chance. Give him 2 years, because do you want to go with the guy that wants to do the rebuild, that is younger, that could make more wrong moves, or do you want to go with the guy that's been reliable for over 20 years and has built this team up into being a fairly competitive team over those, past really 15 years? I think they should, like I said, give him 2 more years, stick with the veteran that's given them more success. I don't think he makes it after this season, though. If they miss the playoffs, I think he's getting fired. I don't know. Let me know what you think. And as always, leave your response, your comments in the comment section about what you think about the Nashville Predators. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you want some consistent quality hockey content. I will be putting out videos at the very least 3 times a week, and then if this starts to make some money, I'll be able to put some more time into it. With that being said, everybody have a great Saturday. I will see you tomorrow, Sunday. Again, I hope you had a great Christmas Eve and Christmas, and everybody stay safe from COVID. Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes, and hockey fans in general. This is your captain signing off. Have a great week.